Wisconsin, a clean, beautiful city that is volleyball crazy. And today, from Bradford Beach, we welcome you to the first ever live telecast of Pro Beach Volleyball. Hello again, everybody, and welcome. I'm Chris Marlowe. You know, for 30 years, there was no money in beach volleyball. Then came 1976, and the first prize money was offered, $5,000 for the World Championship. Since that date, volleyball has grown amazingly to where it is today. A nationwide tour of 24 events, paying out a whopping $2.6 million in prize money. Very happy to have with me a man who used to boom them down in his day, star spiker in the 1984 Olympic Games, Paul Sunderland. And Paul, when you're talking beach volleyball, you're talking about one team. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, the kings of the beach. They have dominated pro beach volleyball, but lately they've been slumping.
Well, they've been slumping, they've been struggling, have not won in over a month, and the primary reason for that, very serious injury to St. John Smith's right wrist. He has a torn ligament in that his hitting hand. And to complicate matters, to make them even worse, the medication he's been taking to reduce pain and inflammation have caused him to become anemic. So he's got those symptoms as well. Fatigue. He doesn't have any reserves out there on the court. So you combine those two factors, it really puts a great deal of pressure on his partner, Randy Stoklos, to come through. And he will have to do exactly that here in Milwaukee, because St. John's still a little bit under the weather.
Smith and Stoklos certainly the team to beat in this tournament. But so was Karch Karai and Kent Steffes. But a funny thing happened on the way to the final. They lost big time to John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh.
Well, a huge surprise and big upset. Kent Steffes and Karch Karai were looking for their 5th victory in a row here in Milwaukee. They lost in the semifinals. And then in possibly the biggest upset of the summer, they were eliminated by Larry Meir and Wes Welch and go home in 5th place. That's got to be a huge disappointment late in the season.
The format for this professional beach volleyball tournament is double elimination. Explain.
Well, it's very simple. You lose twice, check out of the hotel, get in the taxi, and go to the airport and fly home. If you want to win this tournament, stay in the winner's bracket.
Earlier today in winner's bracket action final, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos going up against John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh. Let's meet the player. St. John Smith. He's 34 years old, Pro Beach Volleyball's all-time winningest player. His partner is also a superstar, 29-year-old Randy Stoklos, a 2-time MVP. And going against them, a surprise team, John Hanley, 31. He has 18 career wins. He's an excellent volleyball player. And last year's Rookie of the Year, 29-year-old Mike Whitmarsh, a former basketball star at the University of San Diego.
And a quick review of the rules. 1 game to 15 points. We're playing with a new innovation, the rally clock. It will be 8 minutes in the finals. The clock only runs when the ball is in play. And if the score is tied, when the clock ticks down to 0, we will play sudden death. Only the serving team can score. Players can never touch the net. And you may contact the ball a maximum of 3 times.
Now let's pick up action in the winner's bracket final. John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh leading St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos 9-7.
We will track you down. Congratulations.
2 minutes and 52 seconds to go in this game, the finals of the winner's bracket. John Hanley and his partner Mike Whitmarsh trying to spring their 2nd consecutive upset. They knocked off Karch Karai and Kent Steffes, the number 2 seeds, and now they're going after the kings of the beach, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. John Hanley wearing the white visor and the purple trunks. His partner Mike Whitmarsh in orange trunks with a white visor. Smith and Stoklos on the far the other side. Smith wearing tangerine, aqua, magenta multicolored trunks. Stoklos in blue. Time is running down. Smith and Stoklos need to get their act together. Dig.
Got to push this ball to the net.
Great set. Oh, and Hanley hits it out of bounds.
Back out of bounds. Timeout, Smith and Stoklos.
That would have been a big, big play for Hanley Whitmarsh.
Maybe a backbreaker, a chance to go to 10, and John Hanley will remember this the whole trip home. Tremendous set by his partner, Mike Whitmarsh.
Easy, easy. One. And cut.
Smith to pull within 1, and he hits it out. So a couple of big hitting errors. One by Hanley, one by Smith.
I told you it was going to be a duel between Hanley and Smith. This time they return the favor with back-to-back hitting errors. Very important juncture in this match.
You see the time remaining, 9-7. A 2-point lead for Hanley Whitmarsh. And now Hanley Whitmarsh having a little trouble getting the serve in.
Only Hanley's second service error. That's not a bad ratio. He and Whitmarsh have served an ace or two, and you must serve tough against Smith and Stokos, particularly from the good side.
Going to give Whitmarsh a try. And that's why many people are a little wary about serving big Mike Whitmarsh. He can crank.
I thought not a bad choice. When a player hasn't been served for a long time, he gets into the mindset of being a setter. But you can see Whitmarsh can change channels in a hurry. He goes, setter, no, I'm a hitter this time.
Float serve deep. And Smith able to tap it over the top.
Those look like such easy side outs, but you have to pass the ball perfectly in this wind again. Randy Stokos with a great location with the set, and then you just see where the defense isn't and find the court.
And off St. John Smith, out of bounds. How much does a hand injury affect A, his hitting, B, his defense? We're talking about St. John Smith.
I think it affects more his defense. He's not able to really dive out and extend for balls because he cannot land on his right hand at all. The flexibility in his right wrist is limited to about 10% of what it should be normally, and he's really put up with a lot of pain. The thing is swollen and ugly. I keep telling him he's got Alien 3 inside his hand waiting to come out. But
big block, Whitmarsh. If you're wondering if it helps to be big in beach volleyball, yes. Not very many little guys, and Whitmarsh certainly one of the towers.
Yeah, but look at Whitmarsh. Jumps a little late trying to disguise his blocking location from St. John Smith, but leads with his hands and gets over the net. Exceptional play by Mike Whitmarsh. 10-7 lead. They're in a very good position right now if they can hold this when they move to the bad side. Tight set.
That's trouble. Nice dig by Stokos to save point. No! Whitmarsh again. So Mike Whitmarsh with two very important stuff blocks, and that was the turning point of the game, leading 11-7. Hanley and Whitmarsh hung on to win on time, 11-10. Coming up next, live volleyball. So stay with us on NBC. Okay, we already saw Smith and Stokos lose in the winner's bracket final. We're now going to pick up action in the finals of the loser's bracket. Smith and Stokos in it again. This game recorded just moments ago. It's late in this final. Ricky Ludy and Adam Johnson have been in command the entire way. You're looking at St. John Smith. He and his partner Randy Stokos are up against it. They trail 14-11 here in our loser's bracket final. Smith will serve. 1 minute, 8 seconds to go in the game. Johnson seeing the block so well as he has the entire game.
Smith and Stokos throughout their careers have been known for ball control. That has failed them here in this particular match. It's been Ludy and Johnson who've been able to pass set and hit the ball with great accuracy.
Ricky Ludy out of UCLA. Third game point for Johnson and Ludy. They'll try Stokos. Not yet. Randy Stokos has been clutch as of late.
We're under a minute now on the rally clock. Again, the clock only moves when the ball is in play. Randy Stokos now with his 22nd kill.
Ludy's in the white t-shirt. His partner's Adam Johnson. And Stokos misses the serve. So a big, crucial serving error for Randy Stokos. And once again, with under a minute to play, Johnson and Ludy have game point. Fourth chance to move into the final.
Keeping the ball on Stokos.
Stokos. Johnson with a dig. It's coming back over. Stokos. And he thumps it hard. So Randy Stokos has abandoned the finesse game and going with heat.
I was going to say, Johnson and Ludy are going to continue to serve Randy Stokos, and Randy is not going to chop around the block, use the drop shot or the cut. He's going to make Johnson and Ludy stop his heater.
St. John Smith. Also a former UCLA Bruin.
And nobody!
Ricky. And Smith digs it out of bounds. So the clock stops as the ball goes out of play. 41 seconds to go. And Smith and Stokos still trail by 3.
Watch for Ricky Ludy's going to St. John Smith here. Maybe a play on defensively. Nope, keep it on Stoklos.
Stoklos, block, that's it! So Ricky Ludy's and Adam Johnson pull the upset on the Kings of the Beach. They advance into the finals against John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh. We'll take a short break. We're coming right back. Live volleyball is coming up from a packed Bradford Beach in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Stay with us. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, we're back getting ready for our championship final here on NBC. Ricky Ludy's and Adam Johnson going up against John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh. Ricky Ludy's out of UCLA. He's 29 years old, a gold medalist from 1988. His partner, AJ, Adam Johnson, former USC Trojan, one of the best arm swings, the hardest hitters on the beach. They will be going up against John Hanley, the former University of Hawaii star. He's 30 years old. He has 18 wins, the most experienced player in this final. And his partner is a very big, tall guy, 6'7". Last year's Rookie of the Year, former basketball star Mike Whitmarsh. And briefly, let's go over to the rules once again. 1 game to 15 points. However, the game can end on an 8-minute rally clock. The clock only runs, keep in mind, however, when the ball is in play. But it is sudden death if tied when time runs out. So you could win by 1 point. Only the serving team can score. And players, of course, can't touch the net at any time. Our first referee is a good one. International, Bobby Clark. And our umpire is Jeff Jordan. So Bobby Clark and Jeff Jordan. That's Marvin Hall, one of the linesmen, along with Kim Pickering. You're looking at Adam Johnson. He's 26 years old. He is wearing foot protection. They are called foot digs, the latest in fashionable footwear. And Johnson and Ludy's have captured the imagination of this crowd. Everybody thought St. John Smith would be playing with Randy Stoklos against Karch Karai and Kent Stevis, but it didn't work out that way.
Mike Whitmarsh showing you that he can also play volleyball from the left side. A former basketball player, has exceptional skills at the net, but also as a ball control player has really come on quickly. Only out on the Pro Beach Tour for the last 3 or 4 years.
John Hanley with the jump serve. And Ricky Ludy's pounds it out of bounds. All 4 players wearing white shirts. We'll give you the identification as we can. John Hanley has the ball now. He's wearing purple and black trunks, white shirt, and white hat. We are experiencing technical difficulties with microphones. We'll try to get that fixed up as soon as we can. We apologize. Blocked by Whitmarsh. We should tell you that there is a consistent rain coming down here at Bradford Beach. The weather was very, very nice early. However, it is disintegrated, and you can see the wet sand out on the court. How would that affect this game?
Well, it will cause all the players to bump set the ball. They won't be able to use their hands. Ricky Ludy certainly prefers that. With the wet ball, it makes it almost impossible. Ricky Ludy's coming back to side out after hitting his first swing out of bounds, putting the ball through Mike Whitmarsh this time for the side out. Nice cut shot by John Hanley. Again, in this rain, the players are really going to have to concentrate early, pass the ball well. Mike Whitmarsh and John Hanley both with exceptional jump serves and can take advantage of that to gain momentum in the early going. Adam Johnson hitting the ball out of bounds like his partner Ricky Ludy's, slugging this one wide. Hanley and Whitmarsh getting off to that good start. Up now 3-0. Whitmarsh continues to jump serve.
Nobody.
Oh. Against no block, Ricky Ludy's knows exactly what to do. You don't get to hit against the free net very often. This is the perfect set. Mike Whitmarsh fakes the block, and Ricky Ludy's hammers cross court against John Hanley.
Get point.
Shot that time by Mike Whitmarsh. Over the top of the block, Hanley and Whitmarsh looking very, very good. Again, they won our winner's bracket. John Hanley with the jump serve. Another unforced error by Ricky Ludy. A pretty good jump serve, but not all that tough. Hanley go out to a 4-0 lead. Ricky Ludy's coming inside on this set and tries to slice off the angle. Saying to his partner, Adam, boy, we got to get on track here. They need a timeout, I think, early to get some momentum back. Another point-scoring opportunity. Ricky Ludy with a saving block this time. That's a big play early. If Ricky Ludy doesn't block that ball, we have our first side change at 5-0. We continue to have audio problems. We're trying to fix them for you as quickly as we can. Adam Johnson in a pretty good start, in a pretty good spot, I should say, but Hanley able to power the ball off him. Mike Whitmarsh back to serve. Hanley and Whitmarsh lead Johnson and Ludy's 4-0 in the rain in Milwaukee. Gotta come. Ricky Ludy's has developed quite a following here in Milwaukee, and you could hear the audience say, kill that one. But he goes softly and nicely over the top of the block for the side out. Adam Johnson will serve. Nice dig by Johnson. Boy, low set by Mike Whitmarsh, but John Hanley, the veteran from Los Angeles, deals with it to save the side out. Rain continuing down. Not a gorgeous play by Hanley and Whitmarsh, but John Hanley just tapping the ball to the open area. So much experience. He'll serve up 4-0 over Johnson and Ludy's. Another unforced error by Ricky Ludy's, hitting the ball off the top of the tape and out of bounds. Johnson and Ludy's off to a horrible start, and we will be back to the Miller Lite Milwaukee Open. Hanley and Whitmarsh off to a great start. We'll be back.
We welcome you back to the Miller Lite Milwaukee Open. Hanley and Whitmarsh jumping all over Adam Johnson and Ricky Ludy's. The score of 5-0. And John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh, they have never won a tournament together. John Hanley has won 18 overall, but Mike Whitmarsh looking for his first. And a serve into the net. Side out or possession to Johnson and Ludy's.
Well, you never know when momentum is going to turn around. Surprised with that service error from the veteran John Hanley. Ricky Ludy's and Adam Johnson were under tremendous pressure. They've got to serve that ball in the court.
This is Mike Whitmarsh. And he pokes it over the top and out, and Ludy and Johnson are on the board.
Well, you've got to wonder if these rainy conditions are having an effect on the players. That was really quite a good set, and Mike Whitmarsh just went up with the left hand and knuckled it out of bounds.
5-1 here in our championship final. Blocked by Ludy. Another point.
Whitmarsh looking a little bit tentative in both those swings, the knuckle out of bounds. And here he tries to slice off an angle. Watch Ricky Ludy's drop his inside hand. If you want to block the cross court, drop the inside hand. Another point scoring opportunity.
Back alive, Johnson over the top. He hits it out of bounds. So a couple of quick points for Johnson and Ludy's, and once again the side out or possession to John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh.
Another unforced error for Johnson and Ludy's. That was the story here early. They have 5 together as a team.
5-2 is our score. And Ludy cut inside. Once again, we should point out rain coming down. We apologize for our audio difficulties. We think we have them straightened out. And we will continue, as the players do, in rainy Bradford Beach, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The umbrellas are out. Johnson serving. Why wouldn't Adam Johnson be using his jump serve now, Paul?
Well, I think he should be. I think they're trying to work on Mike Whitmarsh. He's damaged his hand a little bit in one of the early rounds. They're trying to keep some pressure on he, the less experienced player. But I would use the jump serve, particularly in these conditions.
2 surprise teams in our finals. Ricky Ludy's with the big hit.
I think that's what Ricky Ludy's has got to do here at this point in the match to get his confidence back. He's got to challenge Mike Whitmarsh. He went with a cut shot, the little slice and dice early. Bring the fastball and make Mike Whitmarsh stop that shot.
Ricky Ludy, who has won over $50,000 in prize money so far this year. And that's quite a confrontation at the net between 6'7" Mike Whitmarsh and 6'5" Ludy.
Well, two of the biggest, most talented players out here. Mike Whitmarsh played with the Timberwolves in the NBA for a little while. Long arms, great athletic ability, and can sky. This time over the top of Ludy.
And that ball's out of bounds. Hanley and Whitmarsh get another point. So Hanley and Whitmarsh extend their lead to 6-2.
Fourth hitting error for Ricky Ludy. Really struggling out here in the biggest match of his life.
Working on Ludy. Dug, but Whitmarsh can't go. And Ludy and Johnson will have it.
Interesting as we take a look at Adam Johnson. Last week in Chicago, he played with Mike Whitmarsh. It was over 100 degrees, 120 on the court. Whitmarsh went down and cramped on Sunday. Adam Johnson dumped him when Ricky Ludy came available and is playing with him this week, and they meet in the finals.
Whitmarsh, dug by Johnson. Chance for a point. Not yet. Hanley. Yeah! John Hanley with a big spike.
Hanley and Whitmarsh are just playing with so much more confidence right now. Adam Johnson digs the ball, bad set. What happens? Conversely, at the end of the play, John Hanley getting a good enough set, able to rip the ball off Adam Johnson.
The teams switch sides at multiples of 5. That's the negate, the wind or rain advantage. Hanley has another one up. He's playing good defense. Isn't he? John Hanley, 30 years old. He's not won a tournament since the first event of last year. It's been a while.
Right now, Hanley and Whitmarsh are just cruising through this match, moving freely. Whitmarsh establishing well, hitting and blocking at the net, and John Hanley scrambling and then getting excellent sets in transition to score.
And a timeout being taken by Ricky Ludy and Adam Johnson. So Ricky Ludy and Adam Johnson in trouble right now. They trail big, 7-2. A team that has knocked off a number of good teams in this tournament, Paul, but they seem to have gotten off to a very slow start.
So much money up for grabs on the beach this summer. Miller Lite bonus pool on top of all the prize money, $500,000 divided up at the end of the season. And this is the rankings as they stand now. Smith, Stoklos, Kent Steffes, Tim Hovland, Pat Powers, Adam Johnson, Brent Frohoff. And if the season were to end today, that's how much of that $500,000 would be divided. $70,000 Smith and Stoklos apiece, Kent Steffes 37, and on down the line. So on top of a great deal of prize money each and every week, if you have a consistent summer, there's a big bonus at the end of the season.
Ricky Ludy's on the attack, trying to stop the bleeding here, and Ludy does. One of the most successful collegiate volleyball players of all time. He won 4 NCAA titles at UCLA. The 2-time most valuable player. Big, strong, and effective. And Whitmarsh pokes it over the top. We talked about his basketball ability at the University of San Diego. He averaged over 20 points a game. Matter of fact, he missed one beach volleyball tournament this year because his club team in Germany wanted to pay him $10,000 to come over and play a game. He did. He scored 26, but he told me his team lost by 40. But he did make some change.
Johnson and Ludy siding out a bit better right now. I think maybe Ricky Ludy's wound just a little bit too tight for the start of this match. He's been playing so well throughout the course of the tournament, and maybe just a little bit too keyed up. Got to relax.
Ricky Ludy and Adam Johnson playing together for the first time.
Tight set again.
Block. And so the side change is made. Johnson and Ludy, the crowd favorite, starting to come back. We'll have more Pro Beach Volleyball after this.
Kill it when they know we're coming back.
Can you imagine an NBA referee doing this? It's Marvin, the dancing linesman, only in beach volleyball.
Marvelous Marvin, one of the most popular people involved in pro beach volleyball around the country, giving it to the fans in the rain.
Certainly the best dancing referee of the bunch. Chris Marlowe back with Paul Sunderland. We're live for the first time here on NBC Men's Pro Beach Volleyball. Adam Johnson and Ricky Ludy There's Johnson going up against Mike Whitmarsh and John Hanley. St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, Karchkarai, Kent Steppes have been eliminated. And so a couple of new teams as John Hanley sets to put the ball in play wearing purple. Ace!
We talked about the jump serves, Chris, and when the players would start breaking them out. And John Hanley said, not only am I going to bring it out, but I'm going to serve an ace, a spade, right up the line against Adam Johnson.
Points running very quickly now. 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. Hanley Whitmarsh are ahead by 5, 8-3. So the crowd favorites, Ricky Ludy and Adam Johnson, have come out very, very sluggishly. If you just joined us.
Well, I'm not sure they were sluggish. I think Ricky Ludy came out too fired up, too tight, and was making some mistakes because of it.
Whitmarsh tapping right over the top of Ludy's.
Mike Whitmarsh showing you that he can control the ball, something a lot of people didn't expect from him at this early stage in his career. Able to pass the ball and then cut off the nice roll shot.
Johnson booms one home.
A boom indeed. This place really, really rooting for Adam Johnson and Ricky Ludy.
And the signal at the net. The fist usually means that the blocker is blocking ball. Let's see where Ludy goes this time. Yes, he is!
Not a bad prediction. Ricky Ludy now with 4 stuffed blocks, keeping his team in this match. Mike Whitmarsh hitting the ball right into him.
Slowly, Johnson and Ludy's trying to cut distance. He's had dehydration. He's had cramps. They've taken him out of tournaments in an ambulance, quite frankly.
Last weekend in Chicago, he took 3 bags of intravenous fluids before the doctors would let him leave the beach. Of course, it was 110 degrees at the time.
So Ludy's.
Look at that. Talk about trouble. Mike Whitmarsh having physical problems. Ricky Ludy, as hot as he has been, is having a difficult time even finding the court.
A miss hit by Ricky Ludy, and he's talking to himself as John Hanley trying to hone in on his first victory of the year.
Got to keep it on Ludy.
Oh, come on, Ludy!
And the big spike. That was a very questionable ball handling maneuver by Ludy. And he might have hit it. He might be a little nervous here.
Well, I think Mike Whitmarsh, look at him, trying to wake himself up. I really feel that he came out tight, probably didn't warm up hard enough.
Ricky will serve. He does all of the blocking for Ludy and Johnson, and he's very good at it. Chance for a point. Big one here. Johnson. Yes.
Scoring has not been the problem for Ludy and Johnson. They just have not been able to side out, thus getting possession. Remind everyone that you can only score when you serve. Their side-out game has been the problem.
We have dipped under 4 minutes to play in this game. It's a 4-point lead, now a 3-point lead. And there's a timeout on the sand. Hanley Whitmarsh are ahead by 3, but their lead is dwindling. Just a reminder, more live pro beach volleyball coming up at Hermosa Beach. The Miller Lite USA Championships, that will be Saturday, August 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Chris Marlowe back with Paul Sunderland. Our championship final here on NBC. John Hanley, Mike Whitmarsh leading Adam Johnson and Ricky Ludy 9-6. But Johnson and Ludy start to come back just a bit.
They're putting a little bit of pressure on Mike Whitmarsh in particular with Ricky Ludy's blocking. But what Johnson and Ludy must do is get on a very consistent side-out streak.
Ricky Ludy's on the attack, and Hanley has it easily. Hanley.
Little chess game going on.
Johnson. Hanley's there again. Can he put it away? Bingo!
Check and mate. Hanley and Johnson dueling it out, playing behind their big blockers. Mike Whitmarsh moving into position to set. Adam Johnson got to get ready to read. He's gone right now. Easy defensive play.
10-6. Whitmarsh and Hanley continue to lead. And Ricky Ludy finally unloads one. So big Ricky Ludy trying to get untracked. He has to face that man, Mike Whitmarsh, every time. That's no easy feat. Whitmarsh 6'7".
But I think Ricky is his physical equal. He just needs to gain some confidence out here and start on a roll siding out.
The jump serve into the net. And possession going back to Hanley and Whitmarsh. Once again for identification, Hanley in the purple trunks. Mike Whitmarsh at the net in the peach trunks. Ludy's with the ball, Johnson with the set. And Ricky thumps another one.
Excellent call by Adam Johnson. Got to get Ricky Ludy's pumped up. He's so physically gifted. Talk to him about going right over the top of Mike Whitmarsh. You can see the tape on his left hand. Has taken several shots during the tournament.
Ludy's racking up the blocks. He has 4. And a great shot by Mike Whitmarsh. As we mentioned, last year he was the Rookie of the Year, Big Whit. And this year he has really come into his own. He's making a tremendous jump in the rankings. Last year he was 29th, moving all the way up to 12th. So he is certainly a candidate for the most improved player again this year. Ludy's unloads. Perhaps a blocking mistake.
Well, I don't think so. Not a bad choice. That ball was set 7 or 8 feet off the net. Mike Whitmarsh, I think, with a pretty good read. But Ricky Ludy's, again, can just rise and then bring it. And he goes deep middle in between Hanley and Whitmarsh.
Johnson, who played initially this year with Pat Powers and some others, having trouble controlling his jump serve. Once again, the rain continues to come down here at Bradford Beach, but the crowd has not left. They have donned their parkas, and they are staying here.
Dedicated folks.
Johnson.
I think both Adam Johnson and Ricky Ludy's need to put more emphasis on their jump serving. They're down 4, just over 3 minutes left on the clock. They need to make a move, and they're an exceptional serving team. Adam Johnson, maybe the best jump serve on the tour.
10-6 is our score. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the game. Ludy's with the stop.
Once again, it has not been a problem for Johnson and Ludy's to score. Their problem has been getting possession. Again, the cross court. Perfect execution. Taken away the angle by Ricky Ludy's.
Down by 3. Ludy's and Johnson. And double contact. Called. Explain the rule, Paul.
When you set the ball, it must leave both hands simultaneously. Bobby Clark, our #1 referee, ruled that it was a right-to-left transfer, double contact, and we have a timeout courtside.
So Hanley and Whitmarsh stumble just a bit as Johnson and Ludy's applying the pressure. 2:57 to go in our game. Hanley and Whitmarsh by a couple.
Very difficult to see. You're going to check
right
this,
there.
Chris?
Ball handling error by John Hanley. The double contact that was called. It was a point that made it 10-8.
Things tightening up just a little bit. So difficult to discern the ball handling error out here, but Bobby Clark making a very difficult call. Things tighten up 10-8.
John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh trying to win their first tournament together ever. Same with Ricky Ludy's and Adam Johnson. Ludy's beams it, and Ricky Ludy's has shaken it off. For some reason, the crowd loves Ludy's.
Well, what's not to like? He's big. He was a Bruin. He was an All-American. He's got a gold medal. You know, Ricky's a good man. He just needs to keep putting the ball away from the right side.
Twice the NCAA Player of the Year at UCLA. 4 titles. Whitmarsh. And AJ is right there. Sepulveda within 1. Not yet. Hanley. Yes. Hanley thumps it down. An easy chance for Johnson and Ludy's.
Adam Johnson, the set was a little bit too tight, but he has got to do more with that scoring opportunity. A big, big play by the board for Adam Johnson.
Just over 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. It started at 8 minutes. It only runs when the ball is in play.
Oh. That's Ricky Ludy's. That's why the crowd likes him, because he can thump. A setter in college, but Ricky Ludy's at 6'5" can just rip as well out here, down the line or cross court.
10-8 score remains. Hanley Whitmarsh by 2. Johnson has it. Could be a point. Should be a point. No! It's out. Yes, it is a point.
Here come Johnson and Ludy's. Again, they have not had trouble scoring. Whitmarsh and Hanley trying to save the play. Johnson and Ludy's doing a good job now tightening this up. 10-9 down.
Whitmarsh having some problems, and he dinks it over the top, lobbing it high. Whitmarsh wearing a little piece of tape on his fingers. He did jam his left pinky finger earlier in an earlier match, and he had some tape and some ice earlier.
Well, he did.
You see it right on his little two fingers.
I talked to him in between matches, and that finger is ugly. I think he's done more than jam it. It might be broken.
Ludy. And Ricky Ludy. I think if you're Hanley Whitmarsh now, you have to change and perhaps try Adam Johnson.
I'd go maybe one more to Ludy's, but I'd go to him with the jump serve, put some pressure on him. They're just lobbing the ball to him. The 5 blocks is a tremendous performance. 12 kills, most of them coming of late.
It's a 1-point game. Trying to tie it up right now, Johnson and Ludy's. They could on this play. And they do! The ball is down, and we're tied. 10-10 with 2 minutes and 1 second to go. We'll be back. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland back at the Miller Lite Milwaukee Open, tied 10-10 with 2 minutes and 1 second remaining. So far, most of the serves going to Ludy's and Whitmarsh on different teams.
Well, that's been the strategy early. You go at the players who you think are not going to be a steady siding out, and so far, strategy's working. We're dead even here.
Ludy's with a set, and Johnson kills it.
This is a huge comeback for Johnson and Ludy's, because the way they got out of the blocks, I thought there was no way they could win this match.
Johnson and Ludy's have the lead, 11-10. Down at 1.94. Ludy's has come alive.
Terrible set.
Big score!
Ludy's and Johnson scrambling, doing everything they can to turn this match around. Adam completely stretched out, and then Ricky, again, you can hit the ball 3 times. You don't have to, being opportunistic and taking the score.
Timeout to Hanley Whitmarsh. The big lead has evaporated here at Bradford Beach. Johnson and Ludy's are now ahead by 2. Hanley and Whitmarsh led 5-0. They led 7-3. They led 9-6. But Johnson and Ludy's, with 1:40 to go, have taken the lead and are only 3 points away from wrapping it up. Chance for another point.
Good set.
Boom! Oh, Hanley got it up! And he puts it away!
That's the play of the tournament right there. If Johnson and Ludy's are able to score here, it may be over. Tremendous dig, excellent chase, and then the rainbow right on the line.
John Hanley saving a point. That would have made it 13-10. The clock certainly a factor now, 1:26. And John Hanley going to take time out. So Hanley, after that impressive rally, feeling that his team needs a breather, and he will go over to replenish.
Surprising, probably wanted to take just a moment, talk about serving strategy, also just to relax for a moment after that incredible play by John Hanley.
Ron Von Hagen, the legendary great, said once, when you get your best hit dug, you get a little funny, and that's what happened to Adam Johnson as he spiked it at that man, John Hanley.
Well, Roger Clemens brought his best fastball right up the pipe, and Cal Ripken sent it over the center field wall.
John Hanley, his team down by 2. And Johnson still talking to himself, thinking, we should have had 13. That should have been a point. And yes, AJ, it should have been. Under 1:30. 12-10 is our score. Ludy's, he hits it out of bounds. So a point for Hanley Whitmarsh. They finally get off 10 and pulled it within 1.
Just when you think Ricky Ludy's had shaken the problems from the early stages of the match, he hits another ball out of bounds.
12 serving 11.
I got it back.
Tight set.
Oh, Whitmarsh up high.
Putting the roof right on the phone booth. Mike Whitmarsh, 6'7", long arms, can jump, and Adam Johnson really made the mistake in this particular moment. Set the ball too close to the net, Ludy's with no swinging room and stuff block.
And now a timeout to Johnson and Ludy's. Each team gets 4 timeouts, and the rain's starting to come down a little harder now. So perfect weather for Johnson and Hanley, a team that has had some health problems. As you look at the great crowd that has come to Bradford Beach to watch this championship final, the 20th tournament of the year. How has beach volleyball grown? Well, let's go back. 1966, when Paul and I were playing, that was the prize money.
Shorts only cost $5 then.
Then in 1976, the first money coming in at $5,000. 1983, a big boost, $150,000. 1987, the money went up again, and then this last year, a 3-year contract, $2.6 million, and it's expected to go up even higher in the upcoming years. 12-12 is our score. I'm Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. We have 1:16 remaining. The clock can run out, or one team can get to 15, one of the unique innovations on the men's professional tour. Johnson blocked, and Whitmarsh is hot. He took off his shirt, and he has become superhuman all of a sudden. Whitmarsh and Hanley now back ahead by 1. A minute 11 to go here at the Miller Lite Milwaukee Open, our championship final. Ricky Ludy and his partner Adam Johnson are losing by 1 to John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh. Both these teams together have never won a tournament. John Hanley hasn't won since last year in Fort Myers. Mike Whitmarsh, his partner in the orange trunks, has never won. Ludy's has won 1. Johnson has won 1. So this is going to be a big celebration for one of these teams. Johnson cutting inside. Good call by Ricky Ludy.
That's the one thing that Johnson and Ludy's must do. They have to get themselves back together as a team, and that starts with communication. Talk to each other on serve reception, and of course calling out shots for side out.
1 minute and 6 seconds to go. Hanley.
Easy serve.
And a big block. So Ricky Ludy, the UCLA strong boy, stuffing it down.
Stuff block number 6. That's a huge number. John Hanley just getting the ball above the top of the tape, and Ludy's putting a stop to it.
Whitmarsh. Ludy's again! Ricky.
Back and forth. Just when Johnson and Ludy's were giving up some points here, Ricky Ludy comes back with a couple of big stuffs.
Checking the timeout situation for Whitmarsh and Hanley, and they're going to take their third. They have 1 remaining. What a turnaround for Ricky Ludy and Adam Johnson. Down 5-0. 7-3 and 9-6 to rally.
Both teams have played poorly, hit a lot of balls out of bounds, making some mistakes. Both teams have played spectacularly, but now Ludy and Johnson making the plays down the stretch after being down 13-12 at the side change.
Don't forget, NBC will have more live volleyball for you at Hermosa Beach, the Miller Lite USA Championships, Saturday, August 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you like this, you'll like that. It is 14-13, championship point for Ludy and Johnson. And Whitmarsh, who might be getting very, very tired, zips one on the line. We have talked about his dehydration problems. This is ideal weather for him, however, with the rain coming down.
But he's been jump serving. He's been blocking for 2 days, and he's just received his 20th serve in this match. Could be tired.
47 seconds to go. Clock running down. And Ludy, who has turned this game around. He's been a winner all his life at UCLA indoors, but he's never been able to put together the big one on the beach. Second championship point.
Keeping it on Whitmarsh.
And Whitmarsh chooses his placement very well. Side out or possession.
So much pressure right now, excuse me, Chris, on every contact. 38 seconds on the clock.
13 serving 14. You see the time remaining, not much. Hanley just out of bounds.
Big miss down the sidelines. John Hanley wanted to tie the score with time running down.
For the third time. Championship point. And Whitmarsh saves his team once again.
I think Johnson and Ludy are being very conservative with their serving. Adams got a great jump serve, gets it in consistently. He should go back to that.
Trying to tie it up now is Whitmarsh. Can't do it.
Ricky Ludy's kill number 14. He's made his share of mistakes, but not when it's counted.
Another chance for Johnson and Ludy's. And tantalizing as the clock is down to 22 seconds. Let's explain the rule. If the clock runs out, you only have to be ahead by 1 point. If you score 15, you have to win by 2. If we're tied, we go to sudden death. Next point wins. Hanley.
Bad set.
Oh, and he puts it away. Ricky Ludy's turning line.
Little mix-up in signals that time between Whitmarsh and Hanley, both covering the same area.
Strategy for Johnson and Ludy's now, Paul.
I think got to serve tough. Make Mike Whitmarsh move. Serve him deep. Pretty easy serve here. Take his cross court.
Blocked. For the championship. Blocked. For the championship. A save. And the clock has run down to 4 seconds. So Johnson and Ludy's
will win this championship if they side out. Hanley and Whitmarsh must score right here and now to tie.
Are the mics down on the
So
floor,
Hanley and Whitmarsh need to score to send it to sudden death, or this is over. They can't afford a service error. They have to take timeout, and they do.
Say it again.
The XY shotguns are up high.
Paul,
The
strategy
stick mics.
now
Where are the stick mics?
for Hanley and Whitmarsh.
They're talking about it right now. I think they go one of 2 ways. The choice in these conditions might well be for Mike Whitmarsh to go for the jump serve and force the pace. I think you serve Ricky Ludy's and you make him hit the ball away from his body down the line. You don't let him crank cross court.
The stick mics
Will we go to sudden death? Hanley and Whitmarsh hope so. Crowd is rocking. And we have one more play, unless Hanley and Whitmarsh can score a point. Whitmarsh will serve.
Ludy's puts this ball down, they win.
Ludy's for the championship. Got it! That's it! Okay, that's Pro Beach Volleyball, folks. Let's now go to the studio in New York for the Prudential Update. Take it away, Gail.
It might have been good for us in the long run because it was cool today. You know, I think we played a lot of games. We played 5 today, and if it was hot and humid, I don't know if we could have lasted.
All right, you took one swing at 12-10 to go up 13-10. You hit it as hard as you can. John Hanley dug you. You could see the frustration. Did you think you were in trouble because they ended up taking the advantage on the side change?
Well, I thought I was in trouble for a second there, but after, we knew that we had been down earlier and we're down again, or they're on the comeback. So we just had to, reach down, side out, and get that point, and that's what we did the next play, I believe.
All right, Ricky, you've got a number of NCAA championships. You also have a gold medal from Seoul, South Korea. How does this one rank? You seem awfully excited to me right now.
Well, for me, I haven't won many beach tournaments, and every time I win now, I'm just ecstatic. It's every.
How does it rank with the others?
I have to put it down down below the gold medal, of course, and the NCAA championships, but it's great.
All right, that makes sense, because I think this team of Adam Johnson and Ricky Ludy's are going to win lots of championships down the road. And now I'd like to bring in Kevin Wolf, Director of Event Marketing for Miller Brewing Company, who will lay on these two fine young gentlemen first prize money of $15,750. Chris, back up to you.